Hello, my name is Stuart. I thought I'd do a video about my journey with myasthenia gravis, which is it's an incurable condition that affects my muscles and challenges me every day in using them. It started back in 2020 when my mom passed away. The symptoms were like slurred speech. That was the first thing. And then immediately after that, I was unable to play the saxophone. And that's when I really discovered for the first time that all of us who play the saxophone rely on something we probably never think of, which are the flaps inside our upper respiratory. So to demonstrate, any of you can just make a sound out of your saxophone. You know, air is not coming through the nose, but because something is stopping it. With my disease, the muscle that was affected, one of the muscles that was affected is the muscle back here that stops the air. So instead of playing what you just heard, you would hear I'd make a seal, okay? I can't do it now because it's working, this part, but I'd make the seal, but all the air would come out of the nose, which is probably the most bizarre thing a saxophone player probably could ever experience, in my opinion. Just because I've been playing since I was 10 years old, and that's a lot of years. So, so I think that's pretty alarming, wouldn't you say, if all of a sudden you picked up the horn one day and that's it, everything was coming out your nose? So in order to really rectify that, I was desperate and I bought this from Amazon and I put it on my nose so that it would really literally create the seal. And then I put it in my mouth. It would work a little bit, but there'd be leaks. And a sad story. I it just doesn't end well there. I mean, it ends well because I'm doing it now, but at that time, it was really sad. I just had to stop playing, and for about 2 years, I've been suffering that, not being able to swallow food for I can't even eat a one whole meal a day was my goal. When 3 meals is the standard, I was shooting for one. So I lost a lot of weight. This is pretty much what I look like now after a lot of that weight loss. It turns out this is a good weight for me. And then on June 10th, I wound up having respiratory failure. The neurologist who had discovered my disease discovered it like earlier that year, after a year of going to doctor. And She said that it was pretty late stage for me. It's an incurable disease, but the only way to be able to get back to managing it and living my life is to let it get worse. So with respiratory failure, I wound up in the ER, the emergency room at the hospital. And miraculously, to tie this back to saxophone playing, I did not need to get intubated. I guess that's something that happens when you have respiratory failure. People stop breathing, they stick tubes in. And the doctors really couldn't figure out why I didn't need it because I was oxygenating, I guess that's the word, on my own. And long story short, it was my diaphragm. My diaphragm seemed to be super strong, I suppose. And the neurologist months later did verify that as sort of an aberration. She said everything else is weak, your muscle, because myasthenia gravis is all about weak muscles and organs like the upper respiratory being rejected, and that's what happened to get to respiratory failure. So I got out of the hospital after blood plasma infusion, and after some steroid treatment, this thing in the back of the in upper respiratory, the flaps started working again, and I gotta tell you, really thought for a moment that I was never gonna play the saxophone again. I was ready to put this up on eBay. You can ask my family. I was ready to really go, actually. So, lesson learned here is that now that I have another chance at life and at playing the instrument, I'm going to relish the time that I have. So I went through all the material. I decided to practice countless hours, and I came down to these things. If I only had a few years left, okay, I would be focusing on, because I have to relearn with my fingers now. This finger is not working that well. I don't think I'll be able to get the muscles to fully function, but I'm working around it. And I think that's what practice is. So if I only had a few years, even months, shortest amount of time, I would be practicing all the stuff from Joseph Viola's chord studies and the scale studies, as well as I discovered on my own all this Lenny Niehaus material. Just this one body of work happens to have so much jazz vocabulary, incorporating all the stuff that you're learning in theory, and he does it in a cool way. So why not? I just don't have the time anymore to be messing around with so many different studies. If I know, and I know after all these years of just having this and looking at it and being lazy, now time is of the essence for me. So I'm hoping, and that's why I'm doing this channel, that you can join me in relearning this material, so that ultimately the end goal is to project your own unique voice. And that's part of what I'm doing too, because my saxophone teacher, Arnie Lawrence, who passed away in 2007, you can look him up on YouTube. He's the real deal. Worked with all the giants and has a real resume to back it up. Was my teacher, and I was so lucky and fortunate, because that tutelage changed my life forever. And so my dedication and devotion's there, but I think I'm falling short in some things that I need to do. And so I'm hoping that as I relearn, I can show you this material that I would bank on. Oh, here's Volume 1 of Joseph Viola Scale Studies. On a desert island, these things would make you a better saxophone player if that's all you had. And I would like to go over that with you. But this disease now is not defeating me, because I can manage it with medicine. Believe it or not, I have to take anti-rejection organ medication, and something else to manage droopy muscles on my face, because it affected the facial muscles a lot, this disease. So no matter what obstacles we face, I feel like, the music has always been this reliable sanctuary, a place where you can find strength as well as peace, because the notes are the same notes, same 12 notes, same 12 keys. And I believe that life is really something that we need to be resilient in living, because there are all these challenges. And I believe we can journey this together and end in triumph. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, kindly subscribe if you haven't. I have a channel trailer that talks about what I'm trying to do to piece all these things together. And please let me know in the comments below if you are dealing with any kind of ailments, diseases, whether it's terminal or not. I'm there with you. So please let me know if you're going through this. I'd be happy to really to provide some further encouragement. So if you feel encouraged in any way, please hit the like button. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel if you are seeking to grow as a saxophone player in the midst of whatever obstacles you find in life. Take care. Bye-bye.